Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings, welcome to the channel. Now, in today's readings, we are asking a very specific question actually. What does your person really want to say to you and what are their intentions? So more than one question, and we're going to draw out lots of information for you. So we're going to use 3 different tarot packs. I'm going to cut each one of these and show you whatever card is shown to us. That will be your first card, just to guide you in. And that first card is going to be connecting to the energy that sits between you. This is the energy that is currently sitting between you and your person. So let's do that. So let's cut pile 1. Pile 1 is the tarot of the divine. The energy that sits between you is the Magician. So this is for pile 1. For pile 2, we have the 5 of Cups. This is the energy that is sitting between you. And then for pile 3, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so for pile 3, this is the current energy that's sitting between you. Okay, now beautiful souls, take your time with these readings. I am going to draw a rune just for each of these as well, just to give you a little bit of additional guidance if you would like that. I know some of you really like that. So we're going to draw for pile 1. We have the rune of fertility. Okay, I'm just going to place it there on the card. For pile 2, we have the rune of Kano, openings. And for pile 3, we have the rune of breakthrough. Okay. So, beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running for a few moments longer. If you'd like just a little bit more, that's completely cool. So, focus on the person that you are wanting to connect with. This could be an intimate relationship, it could be a work colleague, absolutely anyone, any kind of relationship that sits between you with someone and you're wanting to know what do they really want to say to you and what are their intentions. And we are going to draw a lot of cards and get a lot of information out today for you around this particular person, around your person. So beautiful souls, I'll leave the video running and the timestamps are in the description box as always. And I'll list all the cards as well for you. This is the Tarot of the Divine. This is the Mystical Manga. And this is the Light Seers Tarot. But I will list all the cards that I use as well. Beautiful souls, see you in just a moment in the readings. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. Now, this is the card that is sitting between you, the energy of the Magician. I mean, this is alchemy. There is chemistry between you. There is serious chemistry. There is chemistry and there is magic. And there is fertility and there is potential. This rune does speak of completions of beginnings. So I'm kind of wondering if you are at the early stages of something. You may even just have been at that moment where your eyes met across the room or something, if this is an intimate relationship. But it feels as though to me this is a connection where it's at its very, very early stages, almost as if it hasn't quite got off the ground yet, but it is loaded with chemistry, magic, potential. Now we're going to draw 2 cards, okay? One for person A and one for person B, and we're just going to see what your energies are like. So you'll be able to hopefully identify from this whether you are person A and your person is person B or not. If it doesn't really fit, it may not be the right reading for you, but I'm seeing this, in fact, I'm seeing this for person A and this for person B. So let's use these cards. So person A, we have the Gem, Wow, what an interesting energy. And person B, we have the vision. I can see why this is like, why there is so much chemistry between you. I mean, you only have to look at this to see kind of the electricity in this reading already. Now, if this is an intimate relationship, I think this is loaded. I mean, seriously loaded with potential. Seriously loaded with potential. Look at these hands coming together. The two owls, you share a vision. So let me talk about person A and person B. So person A, the gem. Person A, this person is a very deep person. This is someone who likes to dive deep, likes to look under the surface. And there's something that is very intoxicating for person A about person B, because person B has vision, ambition. They see the potential. This is possibly even a little bit of a diamond in the rough. Someone who has yet to fully kind of embrace their true potential. Person B really sees this. Person B gets it. Person B is a visionary, maybe even a bit of a seer actually. Person B really sort of openly sees the potential here in this connection. Person A is, I think, very intoxicated and feeling very strongly the chemistry about person B. But they're a little bit more hidden within themselves. I don't think they reveal themselves. That's what I mean by a diamond in the rough. I don't think they are as able to express themselves so easily as person B. Now, you may be, I hope, already identifying whether you are person A or person B, or whether you need to check in on another reading. So at this early stages of something, I do feel this is at its early stages, that this person is not able to really fully reveal themselves. I sort of feel they need to uncover themselves slowly, whereas I think person B really would like to plow ahead. It's like, right, I've got the vision, I've got the dream, we can do this, this is amazing, I can see us together, I can see us building a future, we could climb mountains, you know, we could just kind of like have it all. So there's a lot of energy, excitement, enthusiasm, passion, vision in person B. Person A shares the dream, but they don't quite know how to, it's not out there, if that makes sense. And it may be that they are needing, this is someone who really is that hidden gem. I think if person B can rein themselves in a little bit, and we're going to draw a ton of cards for you, if person B can rein themselves in a little bit and manage their enthusiasm and their excitement, I think they will. This is an exciting proposition, really, because person A needs to unwrap things a little bit more. You've kind of got to dig to really enable this person to reveal themselves, and the digging needs to be done kind of gently and carefully. Let's draw more cards for you, beautiful souls. What else are we shown? Let's take out your tarot pack. Let's just see. We can see the chemistry, we can see the dynamics, we can see the energy, the spark, the potential, the possibility in this connection is just huge. But what does person B want to say to person A? If this is your person and this is you, what does person B want to say to person A? Can we please ask, what does person A want to say to person B? Thank you. I am seeing this one as well and this one. And in fact, let's put those to one side and let's now ask, what does person B want to ask person A? Okay. What does person B want to ask or say to person A? Right, okay, person A. Oh wow, there's a lot of fear and anxiety here. Look, we have the devil, we have strength. This person is doing battle about their feelings. They're doing battle over something. I think that they have left something behind. I think they've left a situation behind, they've walked away from something, and there's a lot of anxiety. Perhaps that's partly why they're more covered up. There's a lot of anxiety about something, you know, will it go wrong? They made an agreement with themselves, I think, that they would not walk that path again, not ever get themselves into trouble again. And I do feel, as a consequence, they're kind of now doing battle, actually. Doing battle with what they want, which I think person B is you. Now, I don't know what this actual connection is, but they see so much possibility. Person A sees so much possibility, so much magic. I think person B has sparked the interest of person A. If you are person A, I think you have experienced a lot of difficulty. I think there's been real challenges. It may be a very controlling relationship, really. And you've kind of had to fight your way out of that situation, almost build yourself back up again. And I think there's a sort of a resolute determination of never going there again. You know, you walked away, you left it behind. But person A, they want to tell person B that they see this magic space of possibility. They see the magic, they feel the chemistry, they see the magic. And in all honesty, this is causing person A a dilemma. Now, if you are person A, this will be your dilemma. If you're person B, I think this is what person A is going through. Because the gem, rather than person A, let's call them the gem and the vision, the visionary and the gem. I'm liking that language better. The gem really is a hidden gem. There is so much depth of aliveness, potential, spark, desire, but it's really got it got a bit buried with what has happened in the past. And they really, I think, the gem has had to really work very hard in a very determined fashion to really pick themselves up, to walk away and to sort of leave stuff behind. Now suddenly along comes the vision, and it's like, wow, magic is possible. I didn't believe this was possible. They are actually also seeing the vision. They are seeing the vision. They share the vision that the vision has. So the vision is holding this incredible space of possibility. We could do this, we could do that. We can climb mountains, we can build a world. You know, it feels like, you know, we could have it all. And actually, the gem can really see that, and they feel it deep within them. It's like deep, deep, deep within them. This is a spark that they cannot put out. It's really powerful. It's there. The chemistry, the magic. And it's kind of like, wow. A part of them really wants to say, look, I want to make your wishes come true. This is what person A, the gem, wishes to say to the vision. I want to make these visions come true. I want to make your wishes come true. But I think there's a lot of anxiety around it. They don't also know how to express themselves very easily. They've got all this spark, potential, commitment, real diamond in the rough. I'm sort of really getting a strong connection with that, you know, a diamond ring. That connection there. They want to make a commitment. They actually genuinely see, they do share the same vision. The completion of beginnings. I wonder if there's still some residue of something that they're still navigating, from something that they've walked away from. It was a biggie to pick up and move on from this. And I don't think that they ever thought that maybe they would meet someone and feel this incredible potential again. But yeah, they are saying, this is what they really wish to say. The gem wishes to tell the vision that he or she, they, however you identify, I share your vision. And I want to believe, this is what's coming through, I want to believe in the future that we can have together. I want to believe in the vision that I can see as well. But it's about wanting to believe, and there's battle going on. Can I allow myself to really believe, after all I've been through, that this is possible? This is what the gem would like to say. I want to make this come true. What does the vision think about here? Okay, so the vision is equally committed to a longer term, to building a long-term future, but more ready for it, I think. Yes, absolutely more ready. We have the Hierophant, we have the Emperor, we have the Death card. Wow, this is strong energy here. This really is such strong energy. So the vision, what the vision would like to say to the gem is, look, I'm, really committed to what we can build together, and I'm ready for this. I would give everything up and set forth with you. I am ready to do this. I'm ready for this, to be reborn with you into the world, to be making this happen, to transform together. The vision is actually also saying, look, I really do think we can do this together. There's a really powerful awareness of, we have this connection, we can build the world, we can have the world, we can transform everything. The vision is also saying, look, can we get a move on? There's this impatience in the vision. There's a real impatience. Could we get going here? Can we actually get this started? Let's celebrate. Life is short. Let's make this happen. The vision is also recognizing that he, she, they is needing to keep their energy in balance. I think they do recognize that the gem is needing perhaps a bit more time to unfold. They may even be slightly confused with Temperance. Look at this dipping the toe in the water here. I think the vision is raring to go, really wants this to happen, but also is sort of thinking, well, why isn't it happening? Well, the chemistry's there between us. I don't think the gem has completely opened up yet to the vision. So the gem hasn't yet spoken about what went wrong. There's still a bit of a connection here, completion of something. There's still a bit of a connection that needs completing, or to even just risk lowering down the barriers. And so I think the vision is having moments where they're feeling like they're being pulled in lots of different directions here. It's like they feel like they dip their toe in the water. Maybe there's a coming together, a connection when you meet or have a conversation. I do feel this is just getting going, or even maybe you haven't even really taken those first steps yet. But it's there, and both of you know it. I think it feels like the vision is sort of testing the waters, putting their toe in the water and thinking, this is really good. I'd love to move this forwards. Come on, life is short. Let's make it happen. We can do this. I want the real deal with you, with the Hierophant here. I want the real deal. I want to build the world of our dreams. In whatever context this is for you. That's what we're seeing here. But dipping their toe in the water and then sort of thinking, I'm not quite sure how committed the gem is. I feel it's all there, at the same time, there's being pulled in different directions. I think it feels like they're tentatively wondering whether the gem will really commit. Can they sort out whatever it is that's still going on? Are they really available is actually what's coming through here. Are they really available to commit? Because if they were available to commit, why aren't they? Why are we not where we want to be? Why aren't we celebrating? Why aren't we moving to perhaps even just the first stage of celebration, that initial stage of getting together, that connection? If this is an existing relationship, it may be, why isn't this, you know, we've been hanging out for a long time. Why aren't we moving to the next level? The vision wants this to happen, and it's not urgency, that's the wrong word. There's not an urgency about it, but there is a passion and a readiness, and also a slight confusion as to why it's not moving, when in a way appearances are all about this incredible magic, this chemistry, this spark. Let's ask about intentions, because in a way everything appears to be here, and yet I just think the gem has had a real tough time and is therefore sort of maybe having, it's not an icy front really with the Queen of Swords. But I just think not necessarily giving away how they really feel. Reticent to give away how they really feel. They've had to defend themselves. They've had to fight to pick up. They've walked away from things where, you know, and it's been a tough call. There's some really quite challenging circumstances, probably. I mean, I'm guessing relationship-wise, really, we're seeing very controlling people, maybe, or a controlling person. Quite a lot of venom, even. Someone who may have, as they walked away, kind of retaliated almost, or caused, tried to not let them go, basically. Hung on to them, clung, and I think there's an anxiety, a fear around that. And so in a way what's happening is, I think the gem isn't really showing how they feel. Perhaps they're just not ready to talk about it, or there may not even have been an opportunity to talk about it yet, because perhaps that first step hasn't yet been taken, or they're still building their confidence to be able to reveal how they really feel, or what they really want. Their desire is there, the chemistry is there. Let's ask about intent. I think that's what we should be asking for next. Let's draw some oracle cards. Maybe ask about intent, please. What is the intent of the gem? Okay, look at this, protecting treasure. At the moment, they are really protecting themselves. They're still really protecting themselves. It's like the determination that was around, that was needed to pick up and take this forwards, is so strong still that they're still quite defended. Okay, whereas, look at this is just lovely. Look at the parallel, protecting treasure and wide open. Whereas here we have, you know, the vision is saying, come on, let's climb this mountain together, let's do it. We can have the world, we can transform everything, you know, we can make this happen. This is very lovely, very, very lovely. But what is the intent? I can see what's going on here. What is the intent? Is this going to be moved forwards? What is the intent of the gem? What does the gem intend to do? How is the gem intending to move things forwards? Okay, so we've got 6th house sustainability and 10th house authority. Look at them climbing the mountain. Okay, great. So I think the intent of the gem is to, I want to say, check things out a bit. They want to climb this mountain. They see the vision, the spark is there. They are blown away by the vision. because I think they've moved from a place of being completely closed to any possibility to thinking, wow, everything could be possible, but can I really dare to take that risk? Very protected. They're sort of wanting to find out. The gem wants to find out whether the vision is sort of for real. I think they're wanting to find out whether this is, you know, will it do what it says on the tin kind of thing? Is this for real? Yeah, that they're also wanting to do this. I feel like the steps that they take, they're very much in charge of those steps. In a way, it is quite interesting because they themselves, having had a controlling relationship, I think, are probably a little bit controlling, not in an aggressive, controlling, dominant manner, but control in being measured about how they approach this. One step at a time. It's like they've got to base camp here and they really, really want to climb this mountain. But they're very measured about it. It's like they want to almost establish that this is... Maybe they've lost confidence as well, I think. I think what happened, they lost a lot of confidence from this. They lost a lot of trust in people. And also sometimes I think when we have a challenging relationship, do you know the person we lose confidence in is ourselves, because we feel like we really made a bad choice. And I feel like the gem has a bit of that around them, a bit of that energy, questioning, don't want to kind of basically fuck up again. That's the gist of it. And so they're being very measured and a bit controlled, if I'm honest, about how they approach this. Whereas what we're seeing with the vision is like, I'm open, I'm ready to go, let's make this happen, this can be so amazing, followed by, why isn't it happening? Why do I feel pulled in different directions? Because I think they catch a glimpse of the gem and all that's possible and they feel it. But then every time they venture near them and dip their toe in the water, it feels amazing. And then suddenly it's like they're getting very mixed messages coming back. And that's actually because the gem is not exactly dipping their toe in the water, but wanting to try and check out whether this is actually sort of sustainable or for real. So there's a much more controlled approach. And this in itself can present a challenge simply because it can limit what I would call the organicness of the chemistry to actually emerge and happen. I mean, a healthy relationship is an organic space of possibility. It's a place where things can grow. You have to fertilise the ground, though, for your own deliverance. So, pile one, if you are the gem, I think, even though I understand your measured approach, you might need to let go a little bit so that the vision actually has a little bit more reassurance as well, interestingly enough, that you see. I think they know that, or they think that you see it the same way as them. They think that you see the vision, but they are receiving mixed messages, and it's leaving them in a place where they're simply just dipping their toe in the water, sort of continually. And the problem is, because they're just dipping their toe in the water continually, I think then the gem isn't getting the reassurance that this is genuine and sustainable. I think there's a bit of a vicious circle going on here. Too measured an approach, not revealing enough, not enough being seen clearly as to how they really feel. And then, of course, the vision is thinking, well, maybe I'm picking this up and getting it wrong. And so they're not graduating any further than dipping their toe in the water. Whereas the gem is kind of wanting a greater degree of reassurance. But funnily enough, the lack, it's a vicious circle anyway. I think you get the gist of it, I'm sure. What are the intentions? What are the intentions of the vision? Aries, act. They just want this to happen. Let's take action. Let's make it happen. Let's do it. Come on. Lots of fire, lots of passion, lots of desire, lots of... there is a determination too. They're blown away by the gem. The vision is blown away by the gem. It's like, wow, you know, we could actually have this. You know, it's like we could have my vision. We can have a shared vision. We could make this happen. So the vision is, the intention of the vision is really wanting to move it forwards. I'm wondering if the vision will actually take action. I'm wondering if the vision will actually approach, almost move away from dipping their toe in the water to a place where they actually take some form of action to try and move this forwards. Let's draw some clarifying cards around this. Let's see whether the vision can activate or open the doors a little bit for the gem, or assist the gem in moving ahead, perhaps in opening up a little bit more. Yes, what's this card of act? May we please have some clarification about the card of acting. Okay, so this is cutting the cords. I think they are potentially building up to taking an action. I think at the moment they're dipping their toe in the water. I think they're building up to a point where they're going to sort of own what they want in an open way, cut the cords and sort of, mind you, that's interesting. Or are they going to cut the cords? I'm seeing a dual message here. Are they getting to a point where they're feeling a bit impulsive, because this is a very passionate individual? Are they feeling like if they don't get a strong enough message that they'll cut the cords and say goodbye? Or are they actually going to say something to try and move this forwards? I actually think they may well take action and ask. Actually make an approach to the gem to say, look, you know, is this what you want or isn't it? Because if it is, then let's move it ahead. But if it's not, then that's fine. That's fine. You know, I can cut cords and walk away. I think they're building up to an action of some sort here. Yeah. What do we have here? Okay. They're working out their strategy. Okay. They're working out what to do. We have the Lovers. This is fundamentally a card of choice. I actually think that the vision is building up to actually saying something. I think the vision is building up to saying something to the gem, to sort of say, look, you know, is this what you really want? I think there's going to be a potential opening or a disclosure. This is what we're seeing, I think, here. And it's almost like an either or. It's not like an ultimatum, that's the wrong word, but it is a sort of a, look, just tell me how you're feeling, because I really want us to work at this. I think we can solve any of your problems. Okay, so we have the Devil showing up twice here. I think that the Devil, actually, there is a recognition in the vision that maybe the Devil has been through a lot. I think the vision has an ability to see that the gems had a really tough time. I think they're seeing the defensiveness. I think it's obvious to them. And okay, it's giving mixed messages, but I actually think they are very committed to working at this, which is the sustainability that the gem needs. The gem needs to know that there is a genuine commitment, that there's this isn't just a pie in the sky. No, it's not just a daydream. I think the gem needs to know that this is real. Their intentions are real. I think the vision's intentions are very real, and I actually think the gem's intentions are perhaps real too. Or their desire is real. It's almost as though they're not allowing themselves to set the intent. If you think about the difference between a wish and an intent, I mean, when we think about the new moon, we set wishes and intentions, and people muddle them, but they are different. So a wish is our desire. The gem has every ounce of desire, and for the long term, in it for the long haul, wanting all of that and everything. but their intent is limited. The intention, the wish and the desire are, I wish for this, this is what I desire. The intent is, and I intend to do X, Y, Z to make this happen. And at the moment, the gem's intent is not fully formed. The gem's intent is, well, I'll just take this very slowly, very tentatively. I'm going to go step by step, and I'm going to check out every step of the way to make sure that I'm still safe and I'm protected. You know, I won't reveal myself. I don't want to be vulnerable. I'm fearful of being vulnerable. This is the gem's position here. I don't want the past to repeat itself. And I think the vision is building up in intent to say something, to say, look, whatever you've been through, we can sort this out together. We can work at it together. You know, there's a strong commitment here, you know, and also to say, look, I feel like I'm dipping my toe in the water. I would like to know if this is real, because otherwise I can walk away, I can cut cords, I don't have to be holding out for this. And it's not that the chemistry is lacking or there isn't a desire here. The desire is magic. I think there would be huge disappointment on the part of the vision if they approach and the gem isn't responsive, is still closed off. Let us ask about the intent. Okay, we've got judgment. Okay, so it would feel like a decision-making time. May we ask about the gem's decision? I think it is this one here. Okay, they want to look ahead. They want a future. They really do. They want to look ahead. May we ask where this is going, actually? I think they do. Look at this, the Three of Wands. They want to lay things to rest. They want to put the past behind them. I think there is actually an intent here. We're asking about intent. I think there is a genuine intent on the part of the gem to put things behind them and to look to the future. I think they're having to work at it a little bit. You know, sustainability as well. Sometimes when we're moving from something, we swing like a yo-yo from stepping into that space of possibility to sort of swinging back to sort of thinking, wow, where am I going with this? You know, perhaps I shouldn't be. You know, that sort of fear, you know, hope versus is anxiety, sort of on that sort of pendulum swing. Okay, but they are I think they are really pretty resolute within themselves. They can be very determined to actually, yeah, look at this, the Nine of Cups. They know what they want. They know what they want. They are really determined to put the past behind them. This is their intention is to put the past behind them and reach a space of full availability. I think they're very conscious of, and they're becoming increasingly conscious of these patterns of restrictiveness around them, because they want the vision so much, so much. Let's draw another card just to see, or some more cards to see a little sneaky peek into the future. But this is, I think, really clear, your reading. May we just have a couple of cards just to acknowledge the future. Oh, look at this, the Sun. I think this will happen. I think this relationship will happen, it will flourish, it will blossom. It's like this is the source, the potential of such fertility. Beautiful pile one, whether you are the gem or the vision. I hope that looking at this from both sides, it is bringing understanding and assistance to enable you to actually move this forwards, whichever side you're on, because the chemistry and the magic and the potential here is unbelievably powerful, and both of you are in this for the long run. There's a genuine commitment to building this vision, to building a future, and in many ways the vision is absolutely right. It's there for the taking. The gem knows this too. They've seen it, they're feeling it, and they are very determined actually to put the past behind them. They really are. That is their intent. So I think this is a reading of the most phenomenal potential. Pile 1, I'm sending you the biggest hug in the world, whether you are the gem or the vision. Tons and tons of love. Thank you for joining me for this reading, and I look forward to seeing you for some others very, very, very soon. Tons of love to you. Hey, pile 2, you have Kano, the rune of openings, and you have the 5 of cups. What I'm seeing that sits between you is a history of disappointments. There's been a disappointment. There's been something that has gone wrong, or it's been heartbreaking. And yet now you sit in a space of possibility. Kano, the rune of openings, is a very powerful rune of new potential. So this is what is sitting between you. We're going to draw 2 cards here, and we're going to look at, okay, this is going to be person A. We're going to look at a card for person A and a card for person B. We're going to kind of see what energy is sitting with you each. And then we will, you should from these cards actually be able to decide whether you are person A or person B. And if you're not resonating with either, it may not be the right reading. So you have the medallion. This is person A, and you have the stone for person B. Okay. How interesting. I'm loving these readings, I really am. Now what I'm seeing in person A, the medallion is quite a dynamic personality. I feel you share something here in the middle. Now, if this is a new relationship, you've both experienced disappointment, heartbreak, or something that's gone wrong, depending on the context of the kind of relationship that we're talking about. Obviously, take what resonates with you. Now, I think the medallion, person A, is very much ready to kind of reach for something new. There's quite a dynamic, that possibly even ambitious, quite bold. I don't think they're afraid to shine. They may have been put down. They may have been, well, they may have had to climb back out of a deep, dark hole, but they're not afraid to. And they're definitely, I think, in a place where they're wanting to. Now the stone feels a little bit more fixed here. Maybe a little bit more fixed in their ways, a bit more fixed in the way that they're seeing things between you. And yet somehow we have this sort of little element of treasure within. I think the stone wants reliability. I think because they've been heartbroken, or there's been a history, either a history between you, or it's either a history between you, or there is history that you both share, heartbreak, difficulty, disappointment. Now you are definitely in a space with this person of having a new opening, a new window of opportunity, whether this is with a brand new person, and in whatever context that is, after disappointment and things not working. The stone is seeking reliability, I almost want to say sustainability, but almost as if I think the stone would like to have a sense of permanence, to know, almost to know in advance that this is going to work out. Okay, so the stone is looking for reassurance. They want an anchor point. They're wanting something solid. The medallion, definitely seeing the possibility here. Let's draw your tarot cards. Now we're going to ask about both of these people. You may know which of these is you. If you're not sure, it may not be the right reading for you, or it may just be that we haven't got quite enough information. What I think is really clear is you have common ground here, common ground between you. May we ask for information about the medallion, please? Okay, and may we then also ask for information about the stone, please? Oops, that is too many. But I am seeing this card. You have a lot of cards. The stone has a lot of cards. Gosh, I feel the stone has a lot to say. Like they're trying to have a voice. That's really interesting, because that is what we're asking. What does your person want to say to you? So let's establish these people, the characters, the personalities. So we have, yeah, we've got somebody who's pretty fiery, the Page of Wands. We have the Empress. The Medallion is really, really keen to move away from any kind of history, to start afresh with the Ace of Cups. So we have the Four of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, this is somebody who would like to move something forwards. Excuse me. They really, really do. They want to reach for something and go for it. They're a bit larger than life, I think, in a way. I say a bit larger than life. I mean, they're coming from a dark place. They've had difficult experiences. There's no question of it. I think that's your common ground here. But this person is ready to lay history to rest, to put the past behind you, to move on, whether the past is a former relationship or a former situationship, or whether it is a brand new, a brand new phase in an existing relationship where things didn't go well, but they want to get back together, they want to make a start. They're really, really ready to move this forwards. They want to take this forwards. We'll draw more cards to find out what they're saying as well. The stone. Goodness me, the stone is still a little bit tangled here. A lot of worry going on about the stone. I think, oh my goodness me, the stone is tremendously worried. It's not so much that they're fixed in their ways, but they're very trapped by their thinking here. We have 9 of Swords, we have 8 of Swords. They're fearful of making the same mistake again. They're fearful that they can't quite trust this person. They do want to look ahead. I mean, we have the Lovers here. They want to look ahead. They want to believe in this space of possibility. That's absolutely true. Look at this. They really want this. They want to invest. They really do. They want to invest. They want a fresh start. Their intentions, which are coming through so clearly, are absolutely their intentions, their desire are to make this happen, but they are very much in a space where they're not trusting whether this is really real. If this is an existing relationship where there was a problem and the Medallion, I don't know, went astray or something like that, then the stone is really struggling to believe that the Medallion's commitment will be real. The Medallion's all for it. It's like, let's go for it. Let's start afresh. We can do this. We've got a new beginning. Let's make it happen. Let's lay the past to rest. Forget it ever happened, or not perhaps forget, but, live and learn. We've learned. We're bigger. We're bolder. We're wiser. The stone is kind of saying, how can I trust this is real? How can I trust this is solid? Interestingly enough, if this is a relationship that's coming back together, and in any context, whether it's intimate or otherwise, I think the Medallion is the one that's reaching out and saying, look, come on, we can do this. This can be amazing. Let's put the past to rest and move on. If this is brand new and you've both had disappointments, I think the Medallion is much more in a place where they are wanting to reach out and say, look, how about it? We've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. We've both experienced disappointments. We've both had heartbreaks, but let's lay the past to rest. And this is a new chapter. It's a blank page. It's literally a blank canvas. Let's start afresh. Both parties are very committed. That's really clear, but the stone is very, very anxious. What if it all goes wrong again? They are very much in their head. What if it goes wrong again? Am I walking into something hook, line and sinker? If this is a new relationship, If it's an existing one, it's can I trust this person? If it's a new relationship, it's it is still can I trust this person? Will I be able to see them for who they are? Both are equally committed. That's really clear here. So what does the medallion want to actually say? What is this person? What does the medallion want to say to the stone? Oh, this is lovely. This is super lovely. This is such awareness. This person is really quite dynamic. But what they're really saying is, look, you know, I know you've been hurt before, or even if it's been between you, I know we've had problems. You've been hurt before. I know this has had a huge impact, but, you know, we can take this gently. Why don't we take this one step at a time? They're really reaching out. They're really, really reaching out. The medallion wants to reach out to the stone. Come on, we can take this at your pace. Yeah, let's come together. Let's do this. This can be a coming back together, or it's a let's come together. We can do this gently. We can go at your pace. We can do things at whatever speed is right for you. But let's move it forwards. Let's get this started. They are reaching out. There's a real understanding. They've learned from their experiences. So whether this is an existing relationship reconnecting and getting started with a new beginning, a new opening, or it's brand new and you've both, what you share is that you've both had difficult experiences. The medallion is really saying to the stone, look, we can take this one step at a time, but let's do this. Let's come together. Let's make it happen. How lovely. So what does the stone want to say to the medallion? What does the stone want to say to the medallion? Encouragement. Oh, I need your encouragement. I need you to encourage me. I need you to reassure me. I need you to let me know that this is genuine and you're for real. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, listen to me. Please listen to me. Don't just assume you know what I'm thinking. Don't assume you know what I'm going through. The medallion is somebody who can take action. You know, we've got the Knight of Cups. They want to take action, but they can be seen as a little bit of a fly-by-night sometimes because they want to, but they're dynamic. You know, even the pages, in a way, there's something quite youthful about this person, quite vibrant. A vibrant, youthful energy. The medallion is really ready to reach forwards. But the stone is sort of saying, look, I want this. You know, I desperately want to trust again, but I need you to listen to me. Don't assume that you know what I'm thinking. I need you to encourage me. I love that we have these two cards. Look at the giraffes. You know, out of the whole pack of cards, what do we get? I mean, what an acknowledgement that you in some way mirror each other. You have both been hurt, whether this is by each other or by historically, you've both been hurt. Yeah, the stone says, please listen to me. Please take your time. Thank you for wanting to take your time, but please listen to what I need. I need you to be responsive to me. I need you to listen to me. I need you to take my fears seriously. I need you to recognize that my fears come, you know, they're big. You know, I had the wool pulled over my eyes. You know, I was really, really cornered. I've had a really difficult time. I was treated really badly. Now, this is assuming this is a new relationship. I'm hopeful that the medallion didn't treat the stone really badly, but it's a possibility. If you are the medallion, you may be having massive regrets and wanting to move this forwards and make it right, realizing how much you've hurt the stone. Or indeed, if you are if you are the stone, you've had those hurts before. And you were hurt by your medallion, and you know, you are needing them to really demonstrate that this can be real. This can be solid, it can be reliable, that your word is good. That's what I'm really hearing, that your word is good. This is what the stone is needing to hear here. This is what they're saying. Listen to me. I need encouragement. I need reassurance. I can see a really big commitment on both parts, but let's actually look at the immediate intentions here. You know, what are the immediate intentions of the medallion? Authority. They really do want to take this forwards, make this happen. They kind of want to take charge of it. Yes, look at this sun source. You know, they're feeling it. It's there for them. They want to make it happen. They want to come together. They want to see this emerge. The challenge I see in this with the medallion is that if they take charge too much, inadvertently they could walk over the feelings or the sensitivities of the stone. The stone is saying, look, please listen to me. I need encouragement. Please listen to what I need and what I want. What are the intentions? Activate of the stone. So solar flares. Okay, so they do want this new beginning. Most definitely. The stone wants the new beginning. They really, really do. They're almost looking, I think, yes, achieve. Capricorn achieve. Again, they are looking for real action here with Capricorn, with the energy of Capricorn. It's one of those scenarios, I think, where you could say actions speak louder than words. And the stone is saying, look, actions speak louder than words. You know, the proof is in the pudding. I need to know that you are the real deal. I need to know that you won't let me down. I need to know that you will listen to me. I need to know that you will be responsive to me. They're seeking a lot of reassurance. They want to activate this. They absolutely, their intentions are to activate this, to take it forwards. This is what they want. But within their intent, their immediate intent is to really, they are also watching to see whether the medallion is kind of going to be it's as good as their word. Will they do what it says on the tin? Are you the real deal? You know, will your actions be congruent with your words? It's no good, for example, if you had a big falling out and it was sort of devastating, or you've had a separation temporarily and you're coming back together. It's no good if the medallion comes in and says, this is what I want, I'm really committed, and then immediately vanishes and they're just completely unavailable, or they don't listen, or they take over, because it means that all the trust instead of being rebuilt is not being rebuilt, it's shattered. So there's a really interesting dynamic here between these two. Let's draw some more cards. Let's look at the longer term potential here, or, you know, we've looked at short term intent. Very committed on both sides, so that's lovely. Now, can the medallion really learn? I think there is a learning, because I'm hearing this. This is what the medallion is actually saying. Look, we'll take this slowly. We'll do it at your pace. If this is new, it's like, look, I recognize you've been hurt. Let's take this slowly. We can do this at your pace, but let's come together. The question is, for the stone, actions speak louder than words. They want to see this in real terms. So may we see the intent or the way this is moving forwards? Okay, the medallion is really prepared to work at this. They're giving it 100% here. How absolutely lovely. They do want it to move forwards, that's genuinely true, but they are absolutely prepared and committed to make this work. And even though they would love it to move forwards, I think they're actually looking for a commitment. The medallion can also indicate someone reaching out with a gift. I think that they will potentially make an offer of something that confirms their commitment. I'm seeing a gift being brought forwards. Look at the page offering a medallion here, a coin. I think they're prepared to make a real commitment to moving this forwards. Really, really, absolutely 1000%, in order to help the stone feel more reassured, to feel that this isn't going to go astray, to feel that they won't be let down. whether the stone was let down because this didn't work out previously, or whether the stone was let down. I think you've both been let down in different ways. But yes, this is lovely. It's so loving. It's so kind. It's so solid, actually, which is what the stone is looking for. Okay, so let's see what the stone is saying and the longer term intent and moving things forwards. Okay, we have the Devil, we have Knight of Pentacles. May we know about what is happening for the stone, and the King of Wands. Okay, we also have this here. We have the 7, and we have the 10 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, excuse me. Right. The stone is actually saying, look, I need some help and reassurance. That they had a very, very, very challenging, I do think for some of you, if you are the stone, you've had a very difficult experience, perhaps with someone who genuinely really didn't treat you very well. Someone who really, potentially, I'm actually seeing almost the potential here for domestic violence, for significant control, for manipulation, actually here. Someone who is potentially jealous, very controlling, very limiting of your horizons, if you are the stone or if you are the medallion, and this is the stone, what we're being shown here. If you are the medallion, your person, the stone, has had a really quite a restricting, strangulating connection, really, in the past. In a way, they want you to be their knight or knightess. This is non-gender specific. They want to believe that you, the medallion, if you are the medallion, or if you are the stone, you're wanting to believe that your person, the medallion, is their knightess in shining armour. As I said, it's not gender specific. You want to believe in the happy ending, stone. The stone wants to believe in the happy ending, and they are prepared, genuinely prepared, to give this their absolute best shot. They really are. I think the medallion is doing everything right here, actually, to assist the stone. And I think the medallion is trying to be the knight or knightess in shining armour. I think the stone is definitely prepared to commit to this potential, and sort of one by one almost lay down their demons, really. I think that's what we're seeing here. They really do want to build something that would be a stunningly beautiful and long-term, really long-term commitment. Both people do want, that both people are in it for the long haul. That's really clear. I think this is lovely. I suspect for many of you, this is a new relationship of some sort, or taking it to the next stage, but the history has sort of come up around commitment. This is another area where this may be relevant. If you've been dating or seeing someone and medallion, you want to reach forwards and take this ahead and move it to the next layer of commitment, but you are very concerned that the stone won't accept because of their fears of being tied down. But I think this will move forwards in a beautiful way. It's a lovely, lovely reading. And it's a wonderful reading because it really shows how two people can come together and heal one another. Whether it's the past being healed between you in an existing relationship, or I suspect more likely historical relationships that have been really challenging and really difficult. Just ask, look at this. We have the 3 of Swords. I mean, this is about healing a broken heart. The 2, if we think of the 2 of Swords as a space of conflict, this is, yes, there's heartbreak here. But it indicates that we can now begin to rebuild and repair. The 3 is a turning point. The 3s are always a turning point. Something has settled and it's now time to move it forwards. Yeah, you can heal one another, literally. This is a healing of broken hearts coming together. I think this is I think you're a really, really lovely match, actually. I really, really do. There's so much kindness. There's honesty in the stone, really voicing how it is. Look, actually, you know, I need this. I need you to listen to me. I'm sharing. I'm being open. And, you know, this lovely, you know, I want to be responsive to you. I will work at this. You know, I will make a commitment to taking this forwards. You know, we can climb that mountain step by step. This is a lovely reading pile too. I'm just sending you so much love. I have just such a depth of sort of feeling within me as I'm doing this reading. It just feels so utterly lovely, given where I think both of you have come from. And so whether this is friendship, business, partnership, intimacy, whatever it might be, this is, I think, your person, whether you are the medallion or the stone, I think you can heal one another. It's lovely. It's really, really lovely. Yeah, the blank canvas sits in front of you, my beautiful pile too. Thank you for joining me, beautiful souls. Thank you for all the liking, sharing, subscribing and being a part of this community. And tons of love. I look forward to reading for you again really, really soon. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have the Hanged Man and the Rune of Breakthrough. Now, this is the energy sitting between you, and we're asking, what does your person want to say to you? So what we're actually going to do is draw 2 cards for person A and person B, and just really sit and see where the energy is and what kind of messages are coming through. This is going to help you to identify actually as well with the personalities, the characters of the cards, which person you are within this connection. I am seeing these 2 cards from the top. Now we have the gem, which actually came out in one of the other readings. And we also have the underworld. Okay, so the gem and the underworld. How interesting. Now the gem is a bit of a, I could say a rough diamond, but the gem is a very deep card. You know, gems, diamonds are dug out of the earth, so it's a deep card. This person, the gem, person A is a very deep, probably an old soul that's coming through here, an old soul. And it's like sort of, I don't know, peeling back the layers, needing to dive in to really see the treasure within. So they may be quite hidden, not necessarily though. I mean, there's quite a bright spark here. But with the Hanged Man, this is a card that asks us to sometimes reflect in order to see what we need to see. Now the underworld also, deep dark energy. I feel there is a real emotional depth to this connection. If I was looking at a birth chart, I feel like I could be looking at, you know, quite significant kind of Scorpio energy, Pluto energy, maybe Pluto-Venus connections here. Deep emotions, a strength of emotion, very powerful energy here between you. We have breakthrough and we have reflection. I'm wondering if you're needing to investigate something in order to find the breakthrough points. Let's draw more cards here and ask. We'll first of all we'll ask about the gem and we'll ask about the underworld. Let's get more information. Let's draw cards for the gem first of all. May we know more about the gem. May we have information, more information about the gem. And now may we have information about the underworld. Let's learn more about this person. Okay, I'm hearing one more card for you as well. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the gem. We have the Knight of Wands, we have the card of Judgment, we have the Fool, and we have the Moon. Oh my goodness me, deep and dark soul energy here. I think for all the front of this person, of the gem, person A, they may have quite a quite joyful, outgoing kind of persona that's put out into the world. I almost wanted to say frivolous, but I don't mean in a negative way, but just joyous, like out there having fun, good sense of humour, able to get on with people, seizes life, grasps the bull by the horns kind of thing. There's an outer exterior to this person, and then there's an inner exterior, which is very, very deep, very meaningful, very deep thinker, very deep feeler, very intuitive person. Very intuitive person. Now this person is genuinely hoping, well, they're a risk taker, which is interesting. They're hoping for a new beginning of some sort. I think their investment in person 2, the underworld, is they're seeing them as somebody who can, I think, bring them, be transformational, be healing for them. So there's a front here, hence I think the gem, I think this hidden gem is to do with what's inside. The front is not necessarily it's not the only picture, really. There's far more. This is one of those people where you wouldn't want to judge the book by the cover. There is so much more to this person than meets the eye, so much more to them. A very spiritual being, very thoughtful, very mindful, a great thinker, probably a great philosophizer, very self-aware, really can look at things from all sides, a deep soul, really, potentially an old soul. So what you see on the surface is only a slither of what really is, of the real treasure of this person. So this may well be you, pile 3. Let's look at the underworld. Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords here. We have the 5 of Pentacles, so we've got 2 5s here. Ace of Cups. Okay, so this person B, they are a bit of a worrier, really. They really are. I think this is somebody equally deep and equally sensitive, very, very sensitive. But what I think we're seeing with person B is that there's an equal depth, which I think is partly the meeting point of you both. However, this is somebody who does worry a lot. I think they don't really trust their intuition, actually. They worry a lot. They often feel quite, I mean, there's a lowness around them. Or, again, very interesting with the underground or the underworld energy. And the gem, of course, is found underground in the underworld energy. I think they are looking for their hidden gem. But I think they're looking, see, I think the underworld is seeing the gem as somebody who can heal them, who can guide them out of a place of maybe even depression, who can unlock the door to a better way, unlock the door to love, to light, to steer them back to the light, out of a place of darkness. I think the underworld person is somebody who has quite a lot of internal kind of issues and problems. If that is you, I'm deeply sorry that you are experiencing these things. And I think if this is you, well, let's talk about it as the underworld and gem, but if this is you, I think you're seeing this person, particularly because of their buoyant exterior, as somebody who might be able to kind of hold the light for you, really assist you, guide you, literally with the Hierophant and the 6 of Swords, guide you from a place of you know, feeling quite trapped, actually, and sort of trapped in your own head here. Someone who could have the key and open the door for you. Now, it's possible, actually, that the underworld actually has the gem on a bit of a pedestal as well. Because I think the underworld possibly sees more of the external joy and excitement and vivacity of the gem than they do of the internal depth. depths, and yet it's the internal depths that actually connect you. If you think about a relationship, I always think people meet consciously, and then their unconscious also meets as well, and there's a familiarity. You see, I think the gem has probably done a lot of deep, dark soul searching already in their life. I think they've been on a bit of a journey, they've done a lot of soul searching, and in that I think they've come through and out the other side actually with a lot of awareness, but they've kind of done that internal work. Now, but there's a memory in them of what it was like to be trapped, not okay, in your own head. They've done the work, they've moved beyond here. You see them rising like the phoenix from the ashes. And so I think for the underworld, the gem is a very attractive person, a really attractive person, because they see them as somebody who can guide them through back to the light, literally, to bring love into their world and be their guiding light. Now, for some reason, we're in this space of reflection between you. So if this is a professional relationship, then, for example, if you are the underworld and you have, I don't know, engaged in some form of counselling or therapy or something, or you've joined a class or something, then I would say the person that you're inquiring about really does hold, in many ways, something of that key for you. They are helping you to turn around. The breakthrough rune sometimes speaks of a 180-degree turn. I feel that gem is of great help and benefit to the underworld because they've kind of experienced something of these depths themselves. So in a way, they hold hope. They hold the potential for new beginnings. So I think that the underworld is not wrong about the gem, actually. But let's look at what these people wish to say to each other, actually. Let's find out more, because I don't know what kind of relationship this is for you. If this is a personal relationship, then I think there is the conscious meeting where, you know, the underworld is very attracted to the vivacity, the life force of the gem, and the gem is actually potentially very attracted to the Ace of Cups. There's something about this person, but there's also the unconscious connection where there is a meeting of souls who understand what it means to not be in a good place. May we ask about what this person really, what does the gem want to say to the underworld? What does the gem want to say to the underworld? Okay, look at this. Follow my lead. Oh, that is lovely. This is a really genuinely giving, supportive connection. And there is your card. Gentle gardener. This person, now whether this is a friend, whether it's a business connection, a family member, whether it is a partnership, this is really lovely. This person, the gem is saying, what the gem really wants to say to the underworld is, look, I know you are in a really difficult place, and trust me, I know what that's like. I really know what that's like. I also know that you can come through this. And they really are saying, look, follow me. We can take this one step at a time. We can be very gentle, but follow me. I can take the lead. I can lead you to new beginnings. I can lead you to a space of healing, of possibility, of potential. This is absolutely lovely. Even this card, look, the timing here and the colours. Can you see how, even though the hill is beautiful and green like a summer hill, we have this beautiful tree in the fall, these autumn colours. This person is saying, the gem is saying to the underworld, look, you can rise, you can climb out of this, you can climb into a new space, you don't have to fall again. And the timing, there's something about timing here. Something about timing here. Well, if you are the gem, I'm really hearing that kindness, that benevolence, that compassion. If you are the underworld, you are quite right. This person is able to sort of guide you back to the light. This is what they're offering to do. They have a strong sense of self-belief. They've done a lot of deep diving, a lot of deep digging to be where they are today. May we ask about the underworld? What does the underworld want to say to our lovely gems, to the gem? Oh, look at this. Okay. The underworld is really acknowledging where they are. Actually, things have really come apart. Things have come apart. I'm not okay. And I really want to try and move towards something that will be to new horizons. Now, if this is a connection where you have parted company with somebody, if you are the underworld and, you know, or you are the gem, whoever you are within this reading, it may be that you parted company. And perhaps because maybe this person actually moved away or left and just said, look, I can't do this, I'm not okay, I've just got to retreat, I can't cope, I'm not all right, I'm falling apart. And you parted company. But I think the underworld, if that is the case, is regretting this. And the gem is saying, look, I'm really here for you. We can take this one step at a time. I think the underworld actually is saying, look, I want to come away from this place where I am just in trouble. I'm not okay. I'm falling apart. I feel awful inside. I want to move forwards. I'm ready to move forwards. I really want to believe in new horizons, new possibilities. I think we need more information. Let's ask about the underworld. May we have more information, clarification on what the movement is about. What is the situation of the underworld? Cancer, immerse. That's the one. And 10th house. Do you know this card has come up in every one of the readings, I'm pretty certain now. How interesting. So Cancer energy here, immerse. I think the underworld has really been quite very low, maybe suffering from some form of depression, some form of anxiety, even agoraphobia or anything, these kinds of things. Really felt as if they were just fragmented, falling apart. In a deep, dark place, really. Very much, you know, repetitive stuff going on, feeling as though they're locked in that cage of depression. And they are seeing the gem as somebody who can assist them. And the gem is absolutely offering and wanting to be that person. But somehow, I think something either hasn't yet happened. I mean, there's this pause here. We have this space of reflection. I think the underworld is still quite immersed in their situation. There's stuff that's still going on around them that's causing them these problems. If there's a physicality of a problem around the underworld, if their circumstances have been very stuck, if they've been trapped, if they've been unable to navigate through something, they see all this hope in the gem and they want to move this forwards. But they really are very conscious that things sort of fell apart, really, and I think that there's a great awareness of that. Now, they have been genuinely immersed in difficulties, and I do feel they are slowly but surely climbing their way out of a situation. They are on the ascent, so they're not stuck where they were, interestingly enough. I don't think this is a complete stationary position, which is perhaps why we have the rune of breakthrough. This is not stationary, it's not stuck anymore. They've been there and they're on the ascent, but now they are connected with the gem, or maybe they've been connected with the gem for a while, but whoever the gem is for the underworld, the gem is offering assistance. It's like a guiding light. And the underworld sees them as someone they can trust. They're an authority, a bit like finding a counsellor or a therapist or someone, or a mentor. Somebody who is an authority, somebody is trustworthy. The underworld sees the gem as somebody who is reliable and trustworthy. And they're saying, look, you know, my world fell apart. It really did. And I'm ready to move forwards. I'm really ready to move forwards. You know, I want to find love again. I want to find life again. And I see you, gem, as somebody who can help me to move my life forwards. I see you in many ways as almost like the answer to my prayers. And the underworld is already moving step by step. They're already moving their world forwards. They're not in the deep dark place they were, but they've been there, and it's not completely gone yet. Not completely gone at all. There's still bits of it here. It could be in the physicality of the underworld's world, where there is actually something still happening, the residue of something that they're still processing, but it connects to something, to this falling apart or coming apart. This could even have been the ending of a relationship, and they're in that, not exactly the rebound place. I think they are assuring the gem that, in fact, that they're not in a rebound place. They're not going back to where they've come from. Definitely, they're climbing forwards. They're climbing out, and they want to move forwards. Their messages are really clear. This is what the underworld wishes to say to the gem. Look, I'm not going back there. This is done and dusted. I immersed myself in it completely, but I'm now climbing my way out. But I'm not there yet, and I see you as my guiding light. And the gem is saying, well, you know, follow me. The timing is right here. We can do this very gently. Let's have more information about the gem, please. Yes, look at this. You have Chiron. This is the energy of healing. Okay. And we have Imam Kohli, the root. Yes, look at this with this tree here as well. Yeah, this person is saying, look, I can be your anchor. You know, you can be like a tree and you can grow. This person is very committed. This person really cares. The gem really cares about the underworld and about helping them to move forwards. There's a real commitment to assisting them. Follow me. You know, I can be an anchor point for you, like a tree. I can bend in the wind. You know, I can assist you to find healing. I can bring healing into your life. So why are we in a zone of something not moving forwards? Perhaps it's just needing to move forwards gently with the gentle gardener. Let's draw some more cards, pile 3. Okay, so we know what you're saying to one another. Follow me, I'll be your anchor. I'll help you to heal. Yes, I'm ready to move forwards. The underworld is saying, I'm ready to move forwards. You know, I'm climbing up this mountain. I'm climbing up this mountain, but you know, I'm still processing something. Let's ask about intent here. What are the intentions of the gem? Let's get more information here. Okay. Ah, lovely. Look at this. So we have the 10 of Pentacles and we have the Empress. So the gem is 1000% committed to the underworld, to assist them, to help them to find happiness, to help them to find health, to help them to heal, to help them to a pathway of all that could be abundant. Whether this is a working alliance or a friendship or an intimate relationship, the gem is really just really solidly there for the underworld. May I please ask about the underworld? Okay. What are the intentions of the underworld? May we ask about the intentions of the underworld? We have, first of all, we have the Nine of Swords, so Dark Night of the Soul stuff here. And the Five of Coins, of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. Oh, this is lovely. Okay, we have the Lovers, we have the two twos. Look at this. The twos are always that sort of point when things can start to move forwards. Okay. This underworld, the intent of the underworld person is actually to make a commitment to whatever this connection, this relationship is. The underworld is intending to make a commitment. They are still struggling a lot with worry, with fears, with doubts, the fear that something will go wrong. But they are prepared to put this behind. I do think actually the underworld sees the gem as their turning point. They are their breakthrough. They see them as someone who can help them to look at that. They're looking ahead for the first time. I think this connection, however it is, this relationship, I think for the first time, the underworld has actually started to come away from that internal headspace and recognize that they have choices. And the gem has caused the underworld to see that there is a world above ground here. Look at this world being held above ground. And to believe that life can come back into balance again, because it's felt very out of balance for the underworld for quite a long time, even though they are really trying to climb out of where they have been. The underworld really, that this is a meeting. I almost feel like a fated meeting with this clock here, like destiny, some kind of fated meeting that's happened, the timing of it, in order to create this shift. I feel like these two people have probably known each other in a past life, actually. That's why we've also got this depth, peeling back of the layers. I think they've known one another in a past life, the gem and the underworld. And it's almost as if they've come back at this particular time, very specifically, so the gem can assist the underworld. And it may be that the gem is assisting the underworld because maybe in a previous life the underworld assisted the gem. There's a genuine commitment here, and it feels very unconditional, actually. Something to be put right. I'm going to make some inquiries about the past life connection. May we ask about the past life connection between these two? Yes. We have the Five of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Yes. I think in a past life, there was some kind of a circumstance where, I'm seeing like a battlefield here. Maybe loyalties were divided, but difficult decisions were made. And what could have been kind of couldn't have been. Let's ask for more. What have we shown in this past life connection, please? I am seeing those two cards. Yes, we have the Sun and we have the Eight of Pentacles. I think there was almost like, I would venture to say, like a class difference or a status difference in a past life. From being almost like a, I don't know, if we're going back into almost, I'm sort of seeing like medieval times, in medieval times where one person was proper, you know, working class, salt of the earth kind of, and the other had a lot more given to them, their birthright. They were born into money. So one person had to struggle, the other person didn't. But I think there was a genuine connection here. Yes, we have a working person here. Look at that working world. And then the other person kind of was born into abundance, really. And I think it prohibited some form of connection. It prohibited something that actually I think both these people wanted. May we ask for more about that connection, please? May we ask for more about that connection, the past life connection? Oops. Yes. Yeah, we've got the moon again. Yes, okay, I'm sort of going to battlegrounds. I saw battlefields actually really being shown to me there. I do think what then happened was that one person was very much left at home, and maybe there were promises genuinely made, those kind of moonlight meetings where a commitment was made. Look at this moon with these dogs. I feel like a commitment was made. And somebody set off believing that they would ride into victory, but I don't think they did. It would be like somebody born of I guess like in those days, nobility, setting forth and then dying on the battlefield, not coming back, but a commitment was made and this person left. And I don't think they came back. Something went wrong here because of circumstances. We have the scorpion. I think it might be a lobster, but it looks to me just like a scorpion coming out of the water here. And it was a real soul connection. And somehow there's been a tangle. It may even be that two people fought together on a battlefield, one as the leader, and there was a loyalty of a subordinate. And then maybe the leader survived, but the subordinate didn't. And there was always a guilt and a feeling that I could have protected you, I should have saved you, that sort of survivor's guilt. I could have protected you, I could have saved you, I could have made everything good and I didn't. There's something going on here that didn't work out, but one person, I think, and I think this is the soul of the gem, somehow wasn't able to carry something through or fix it or make it right in that lifetime, and now they wish to do so. It's like they've come in at an appointed time, and the underworld, this person may well in part be really going through the almost like the genetic processing of not just historical, not just their own, I would say, sort of difficult circumstances in this lifetime, but the underworld may be processing past life situations and also elements that have come down, perhaps trauma being passed down genetically from generation to generation, the healing of family trauma that then sits in one particular person. And I feel that the gem has come here at this appointed time very specifically to lead the underworld out of this place of darkness and assist them in healing, because actually back in a previous life there is a knowing and an awareness that they weren't able to do something then. This is the breakthrough. This is why this is a real fated, connected partnership with purpose, and the purpose is of healing, wholeheartedly of healing. Wow, these are amazingly deep readings, and I'm in awe of this connection actually. Pile 3, I'm going to just draw a couple of cards to look at the outcome, but I hope this is giving you, really, we're hearing what these people want to say to one another. I mean, the gem is there for the underworld, and the underworld is processing a depth of experience that goes back to previous lifetimes, as well as, I feel, the genetic lineage of their current world. Let's draw just a little bit of information, please, for the outcome. I'm seeing these two cards. Okay. Yes, so I'm seeing, look at this, 5 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. So what we're seeing here is climbing out of this turmoil, climbing up that ladder, finding the strength. The 5 of Wands can be a card of competition, but you know, it can also be a card of collaboration. And the 8 of Wands, well, look at this. It's action, it's pointing to a very specific focus here. I'm going to place those just in the middle with the rune of breakthrough in the middle. I think that this is a connection, and that's why we see the Hanged Man as well, going back to our first card. I think part of the nature of this relationship, with the depth that is in both of you, souls who have returned to re-meet, to heal, very specifically with the gem assisting the underworld, but with purpose, because I think there's been a collaboration before. This is the time to collaborate. The breakthrough moment is coming. The timing is right here now. And this is a very fated connection in the best possible way. Pile 3, very powerful reading. If you are the underworld, I am, sorry that you have had to experience such depths, but I believe you are processing things, and I honour you for being here, because I think there are many souls who've come here to process things, and it isn't just the impact on themselves individually, because everything that we do in terms of healing impacts on the rest of humanity, all that we come into contact, and on the overall vibration, the higher vibration of humanity at large. And we are at a very crucial time of accelerated growth, so there's a lot of intense personal work going on by many, and I really honour you, the underworld, if that is you. If you are the gem, I am honouring you for arriving at this absolute moment in time as agreed, upholding that agreement, and actually coming here to assist in this work and to support the underworld in exactly this current calling and purpose. Beautiful souls, I am sending you the biggest hug ever and all the love in the world. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and do watch out for other readings. I post them 2 or 3 times a week, and I will be, although I'm taking some time out over Christmas, I'll still be posting then as well. So thank you just for being here. The depths of these readings are seriously wow, so thank you. I'm really, it's such a privilege to read for you, Pile 3. It really is. Tons of love, beautiful souls, and yes, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and just all the things that you do that help to support this channel. Tons and tons of love.